In the traditional heartlands of British boxing, it's not unusual for young men caught up with street gangs to find the boxing gym as a salvation from a life of crime. Before he was 16, the young Nigel Benn had been in trouble with the police for receiving stolen goods and GBH, as well as shoplifting.
I'd go and hang up with all the other kids and do stupid things. Not mugging or burglary or anything like that. Shoplifting, Woolworths, Marks and Spencer, nicking the velvet jacket and things like that, nicking watches off the bands in Woolworths.
It's always pretty wild, like, you know what I mean? It was a little bit of a job to keep him under control. I used to be very worried about him. I said, I don't mind what you do. If you nick anything, I said, I'll kill you.
He could see the way I was going. Instead of going down straight and now, I was kind of like bending off.
I said to him, how about joining the army, Nigel? He said, yeah, that's a good idea, Dad. But he was still the same boat in the army, like, you know, still gets into trouble in the army.
Started boxing in the army, and that gave you the discipline, what you needed to be a world champion. Now I thought from there, I thought I'm going to give it a shot.
Boxing for Ben meant a way out. After winning every bout he fought in the army, he left and began to catch promoters' eyes as a promising amateur.
Nigel Benn comes from Mark Kaler's old club, and he's trying to win the same middleweight crown that Kaler won back in 1980. Benn, the one-time soldier with the Royal Fusiliers, now works as a store detective. And he's hurt Malfar badly this time. He reels back against the ropes and takes a compulsory standing count.
Well, when I won the ABA title, they got scouts all out already looking at you. You don't know, but they're out clocking you, seeing how good you are. And then they bring you this big full, here, you get that, just sign there. And you do.
Good right, and it's all over.
As a young Nigel Benn started his professional career in England, the man who would become his nemesis was across the Atlantic, still too busy breaking the law to worry about pulling on any boxing gloves.
I was smoking marijuana, I was smoking cigarettes, I was drinking alcohol, and I wanted all that to stop. And I had other bad habits, not substance, but sleight of hand, let's say.
He was very rude. Very, very rude guy.
Eubank's criminal tendencies beat Nigel Benn hands down. He was suspended from school 18 times in 1 year before, after time in a children's home, his father took him to join his mother in the United States.
I went into a gymnasium in New York in about 1983 to keep myself in good condition. Because I couldn't afford the gym fees, I used to sweep the gymnasium and make sure that when it rained, all the buckets catched all the water.
First 3 weeks, the gym called me and said, your son going to make champion.
After a handful of professional bouts in America, Eubank returned home, assuming he'd be snapped up by Britain's top promoter, Frank Warren.
Oh, he wanted a big salary and a signing-on bonus, and I think he wanted a flat to live in and all this, but, you know, I wasn't interested in that.
Warren had already found a fighter who could guarantee spectacular knockouts and created the Dark Destroyer.
Benn was the ultimate fighting machine. I mean, he was a fighting animal. I don't say that in any derogatory sense, but he was a man who lived to fight, whose whole life revolved around boxing and revolved around violence too.
With a bit of luck, he'll be able to lead by 5.
When Benn left Warren to be represented by black boxing manager Ambrose Mendy, his promotional image went through the roof.
In England, there weren't too many black brothers in sport at the manager side, and I thought, well, if I can help bring another black brother through, I'm going to do that.
Boxing has never been marketed properly in this country since the days of Jack Solomon. Frank Warren thinks that putting a boxing on an arena that contains 5,000 people is hallelujah days.
I'm going to stay in the fight. I'm going to make it right. I said, then big right.
goodness sake. What a punch. And it's another first round stoppage. And that's
By the time he was 24, Ben was Commonwealth champion, and 2 years later, the Dark Destroyer became a household name, beating American Doug DeWitt to become Britain's first middleweight champion since Alan Minter. For potential wannabes, he was clearly the man to aim for.
I'm an athlete and I know my value.
And we done a deal like that. It was as quick as that.
And everyone said to me, why are you wasting your time with him? And I said, there's a little something there. There's a little bit of magic.
In the red corner, Chris Eubank.
Hearn's promotional acumen soon made him realise that that bit of magic was the key to success. In the new boxing Hearn envisaged, Eubank's fast-growing undefeated record would not alone be enough.
Before, in the good old days, all you did was make a good match, print your posters and wait for the punters to come in and buy their tickets. Hearn thought that wasn't good enough. You had to go a stage further. You had to go out in the marketplace and sell this as a product, as a whole package, an entertainment package. He recognised, I think, that people have to have a villain. There has to be the man you love to hate, in the old wrestling cliche, the sort of McManus figure. And he saw that role wasn't being filled in British boxing, and he chose it for himself.
Larry's ideas were his and his own and his wife's, because she actually picked simply the best. My talent and my self-belief was my own.
The secret of making sports successful is to develop almost a soap opera connotation, where you build the character as much as the sport, and develop this ongoing saga, if you like, of building to ultimate showdowns. And of course Eubank Ben was an ultimate showdown.
Ambrose Mendy's standing right here. I want your boy. He belongs to me. He's mine.
Inside and out of the ring, Eubank was beginning to make good copy, and consequently a clash with the champion became more likely.
Boxing is a mug's game. This is what I mean. I don't like the business. There are too many skull duggers out there in this game.
Moving his attention specifically to the people's champion, Eubank's hate figure status grew and transformed the idea of a fight with Ben from a possibility to a raging necessity.
He was the first person to come out and slag me off. And so he lit the fuse. He lit the fuse good.
On that particular night in question, I will show that I have what it takes. This man is nothing but, he's the real hype. I come up the hard way. I didn't know Frank Warren.
Myself, boy.
You had your time. Let's have some parliamentary procedure here, all right?
Oh, God.
But what makes you think you can beat Nigel Benn?
Because he's just a puncher. He's only got a puncher's chance. I'm a skillster. I'm a fighter. I can punch as hard as he can. I can box. I can slug, or whatever he can. He only can. Everything is loaded in my favor for this fight, because, in my opinion, although he's a great puncher, he has nothing else other than that. That's not important. I just got to beat the man. It doesn't matter whether I knock him out or take him to 12 rounds and give him a boxing lesson. So I have nothing to say to Nigel. I find the man intolerable in that he's so wild. I have no time for such people. He has no class as far as I see it. About Nigel Benn, I would say this. The man is a powerful puncher, a very powerful puncher. For this, I would like his autograph, because after I've finished with him, he isn't going to be anybody.
Christopher? I have to say there seems an element of genuine hate between these two, Ambrose.
For sure.
I don't hate the man. I just want his WBO title. I pray that I have enough dignity not to hate the man.
Exactly.
Hate doesn't come into it for me. Hate destroys the game and makes it look brutal, and that's why a lot of people don't take to it. I don't hate the man. I want the man's title, and I intend to prove that I'm a better fighter than the man, which I am.
All right, gentlemen, you both signed the contract.
I personally do hate him. I personally do hate him.
So is there any point in me asking you to shake hands after signing the contract?
No.
Well, gentlemen, all four of you, thanks for joining us tonight.
Welcome to the main arena at the National Exhibition Centre on the outskirts of Birmingham. A very big occasion here. Some very famous faces are at ringside. Big Frank Bruno, who's had his share of world title fights. Paul Gascoigne, fresh from the match at Goodison this afternoon. Gaza is with us here at the NEC as well. Linford Christie, the quickest man in Europe, looking to see if Nigel Benn can produce a quick knockout here. And Terry Marsh, what a reception he got here at the NEC. I feel sure he'll be back in action very soon. Hello, good evening to you. It really is a very special occasion here at the NEC. Personally, I've never known opinions so sharply divided about a world title fight. Some of you going for Nigel Benn because of his punching power. Benn, a man with the dynamite in his fist, really, the reigning champion. Chris Eubank, the challenger from Brighton down there on the south coast, a very different type of personality. Total self-belief has Chris, and a very awkward style indeed. But Eubank absolutely convinced a slugger can never beat a craftsman.
Whenever Nigel Benn's in the ring, you're guaranteed high excitement. His first defence against Iran Barclay in Las Vegas in August. It only lasted a round. Benn was shaken up. Barclay was beaten up. Benn's Britain's first ever WBO champion. He knocked Barclay off his feet 3 times. A brief but very effective encounter. Now, Benn's had his battles outside the ring as well with the British board. Angered by their refusal to allow his manager Ambrose Mende to work his corner, Benn ripped up his licence. Now there's an uneasy peace. Ambrose Mende will be with the champion tonight. Chris Eubank's a very different sort of fighter. He says he's misunderstood. He's super confident, not arrogant. In contrast to Benn, Eubank isn't a big puncher, but his last victim, the Brazilian Ronaldo dos Santos, would dispute that. He lasted under 20 seconds. Eubank's record, 24 fights, 24 wins. It's a genuine grudge match. Benn and Eubank certainly won't be exchanging Christmas cards. Benn's the biggest attraction in British boxing. Stand and fight. The video's out next week.
They ring the bell, time to go to war. When you hear 9-10, ain't me on the floor, cause I'm the warrior that makes you sorrier. The destroyer, I will annoy ya. Say goodnight, my friend, and amen. Telling me just meant big bad Ben.
Chris Eubank's called Benn a coward and an ignorant puncher. He's convinced he'll win.
Take the man's punching power away and he's not in my class, which is plain to see. But obviously we can't do that because he has got that punching power. So therefore what you have here is a competent intellectual boxer against the shallow-minded puncher. And so for all you people out there who've bet your money on Nigel, it was a bad bet. Regardless of the outcome, it was a bad bet. Because the puncher never beats the boxer. At least he never beats the competent boxer.
It's just about a full house here at the NEC. Got to be over 10,000 people inside this arena. And really, what an atmosphere too. The sort of atmosphere really that makes the old hair stand up on the back of your neck. It's a big occasion, this one. A really big domestic scrap. And as you'll have heard at the start, a grudge match as well between Chrissy Eubank from Brighton. Not everyone's cup of tea, a bit strutting and a bit arrogant. Had a long talk with him in the gymnasium where he's working hard down there in East London on Thursday, and he said, I'm not arrogant, I'm just a very, very confident fellow. He is totally convinced, Chris Eubank, he's going to be the new champion. What a noise behind me as Eubank makes his way towards the ring here at the NEC. Really, everyone peering and waiting for the gladiators to come into the ring. Chris Eubank, I think I caught sight of him a few moments ago, and he might be just submerged somewhere in that crowd. He's going to be the underdog here, is Chris Eubank. His followers know that. They know that Benn is a more popular fighter, has got more crowd appeal, and has sold probably more tickets here. But the Eubank camp feel that will inspire their man. 24-0 is Chris Eubank, but a lot of people on that record are under the calibre that Nigel Benn has fought in his career. And there, Chris Eubank with his trainer Ronnie Davis just in front of him in the red tracksuit. Eubank, Simply the Best, his anthem. Totally composed, totally his own man. He doesn't take advice kindly. I was with Barry McGuigan at a press conference earlier this week when McGuigan went to offer him some advice about the fight tonight, and he said, "Thank you very much, Barry. I know what I'm going to do. Please don't tell me anything." Chris Eubank, like Nigel Benn, has been over to America to learn his trade. He knew he was going to get this. He's totally prepared for it. Here comes the challenger. Chris Eubank. He's bet £1,000 at 40 to 1 that he will finish it in the first round. Here comes the Dark Destroyer. That's the 2nd Battalion of the Royal Regiment of Fusiliers, and 4 drummers lining the route. Nigel Benn was a Lance Corporal in the 1st Battalion, boxed as a welterweight in the army. He was undefeated, and I'm sure his whole battalion will be watching ITV at their base in Canterbury, in Kent. We're promised quite an entry from Nigel Benn. First, if you can hear me above the roar, a touch of Phil Collins in the air tonight. And goodness me, there's high excitement in the Midlands air tonight, I can tell you. Well, Nigel Benn keeping us all waiting. Remember, and here he comes, the champion with the WBO belt, and his manager Ambrose Mendy. What a reception for Nigel Benn. They're already threatening to raise the roof here at the NEC, and they haven't thrown a punch yet. This one looks as though it's going to live up to all its hype. Nigel Benn, let's just wait for the reception he gets as he climbs into that ring. Ambrose Mendy with a few calming words perhaps. Nigel Benn has said he hates his opponent. We shall see. Let's join your commentators at ringside. Jim Watt, and first of all let's say good evening to Reg Guttridge.
Well, hello then, and draw up your ringside seat with us. There's great expectations here, there really is. All the tinsel has gone now, all the sparring hype has gone, and really, it wasn't promotional hype in the sense that these fellas really wanted to have a go at each other. They didn't have to call press conferences. There's a genuine needle here.
Ladies and gentlemen.
So the MC, Alan Hughes, then.
Promoted by Matchroom in association with Top Rank and sponsored by the Daily Mirror, we are proud to present the main attraction of the evening. A middleweight contest at 11 stone 6 pounds over 12 rounds, each of 3 minutes duration, for the WBO Middleweight Championship of the World. Your judges for the contest are Darby Shirley of Las Vegas, John Stewart of New Jersey, and Bob Ballo of Miami in Florida. Your WBO supervisor is Vice President Ed Levine of the United States of America. And your British Boxing Board steward in charge, their Vice Chairman, Nipper Reed. Your referee for the contest is Richard Steele of Las Vegas and your timekeeper, Harry Foxall of Stoke-on-Trent. Ladies and gentlemen, presenting and introducing to you in the blue corner with the white and the red shorts, with 24 wins from 24 contests, 14 inside the distance, the challenger for the title from Brighton in Sussex, Chris Eubank! And ladies and gentlemen, his opponent in the red corner with the black shorts, with 27 wins from 28 contests, 25 inside the distance, defending the title from West End in London, the WBO middleweight champion of the world, Nigel Benn! At the weigh-in at noon today, Chris Eubank scaled 11 stone, 5.5 pounds. Nigel Benn scaled 11 stone, 5 3/4 pounds. Ladies and gentlemen, I thank you.
Well, those introductions, I mean, the way these guys are talking, the fight could be shorter than the introductions. Richard Steele, famous referee in the States, 79th World Championship, his first WBO. He handled Frank Bruno and Mike Tyson, among many others. And Bruno is with us, of course, tonight. And so is Michael Nunn, the World IBF middleweight champion. Let's have a look at these fellas. So he's bet £1,000 he can win in the opening round here, Chris Eubank. Now, is he more show than substance? We'll find out, but don't blink in case you miss the punch. But it might be Benn that throws the punch, and that's the kind of contest this is. Billed, of course, as who's fooling who. So taking a bit of time there because the inspector from the World Boxing Association is handing out the coagulants. They won't let them, the seconds, bring their own. They hand it out in the corner. First time that I've seen that. He's such an unusual man, this Chris Eubank. He really is. Oh, he's coming outside on. He's throwing punches back early. We knew Benn would come out firing, as he always does.
Going to try to evade the punches rather than block them, and that could be dangerous. Although he's coming back with decent shots of his own. But Benn's a little bit slow getting them off the mark in the first round here. As though he's trying to pick shots, so we can't fault him for that. And he'd have come from Eubank Ridge. And there's nothing wrong with his temperament. He looks very calm as he come into the ring. He really fancies the job. The reach with his punches, he's not getting right in and getting the shoulder behind him.
So the countdown for the end of the first. So there's the rundown on Benn then, of course. The one loss was to Michael Watson, who's also on this card tonight. Yeah, Benn obviously likes a more conventional style, with Doug DeWitt and Oran Barkley. They're both stand-up sluggers that he nails.
Well, Benn just started to find his range at the end of the first round. He's found...
That was a good shot, that was.
This is when Benn's dangerous, when he's got caught himself.
The final minute of the second then. Scheduled for 12.
Oh, that was a shot, Reg. Well, Eubanks has taken that one, Reg, so he can take a shot. That was the one.
Yeah. Other fighters have...
The punches, Reg. He's not going to be able to strut. He's going to have to try and hurt Benn. He's done it, Reg.
He's done Benn by the look of it. He chopped that right hand down, though. He's right above us, Benn, almost falling down on the ring on us here.
This is what we've seen Benn so dangerous from this position. Here it comes. Must have a great chance. He badly shook Benn just at the end of that round.
And there the problem in Atlantic City.
So Eubank is still backing off, Reg, and you would think after the success he would come forward, try to take the play away again. Benn is even...
A few twitchy backers around in this quite big audience. Oh, as you say, Jim, that's when he's dangerous, isn't it? Oh, he rocked there as well. end of the third.
Yeah, he has. Oh, a lovely shot from Eubank. Is he going to follow up this? You should never allow Nigel Benn to come forward. He once again shoot Eubank just as it landed, but his head's cleared again. I think that was more of a stumble, Reg. He started to stretch, and his defences have come apart a little bit in this round.
So coming out, there it is, you see, almost closed, and Percy Armstrong, American corner man, at the time worked that away. There it is again, he's doing that, you see. Round 5.
I think this vision thing might be a problem with Ben now. He's getting...
Mind Eubank has got it. Oh! Now that was a good body punch, Jim.
He's trying to... Oh! 2 good shots now. Will Ben take those, Reg?
Instantly Eubank when he's got the man in trouble.
This is where Eubank must be careful.
He's saying, OK, come on.
He's tried to make better use of his jab because Ben does come straight on in.
Yeah, exactly. Professes to be a master of the noble art. Oh, what? Almost came out on our lap there, Jim. A little bit of a slip. He's arguing with the referee. It was a slip. But there's no point in him shouting. 3 American judges, remember, if this does go 12.
He came out in the 7th with a good round. And he's raised the pace. So it's really pretty even at this moment, Reg.
And we're getting ready now. There it is for round 9.
Second round, round 9.
So it's all about the last furlong, as it were, and the stamina. One trying to impose his will on the other one as well as his skill. The IBF champion right behind us here must be weighing this one up as a potential opponent, potential challenger. There's already plans if Ben wins for him to fight Steve Collins, the Dubliner who fights in the States and has already challenged for the world title.
Eubank is becoming a little bit negative now, Reg. He threw a punch and missed and he ducked away down. You know, he's not quite as positive in his approach in this round as he's been earlier. He's going to have to psych himself up. Maybe he needs to land a couple of shots like that just to bring his confidence back.
He has finished a 12-rounder actually, Eubank against an Argentinian, but that was an easily forgotten fight actually. Ben would like to be able to work to the body a bit more, Jim, wouldn't he, and make the head fall, but he tucked his arms closely in there, Eubank. Not easy to nail him, especially as he's always moving, circling.
Yeah, well, against awkward fighters who move like Eubank, it's sometimes good policy to go to the body, but it's maybe a little bit late for that now, Reg. I think Ben has to keep doing what he's doing, just keep forcing him back and try to out-punch him, keep his punch rate higher than Eubank's. So Eubank wants to slow the pace, to fight in little bursts, pick away, a couple of punches, then back on his bike again. Ben has to raise the pace and maintain it.
He's a bit of a moaner, Jim, isn't he?
Yeah, which is usually a good sign for the other fellow. When your opponent moans to the referee, it usually means he's not too happy, things aren't going his way.
I remember when your manager would say that to fighters in the corner, stop feeling sorry for yourself.
Well, Ben is the one at the moment who has been prepared to grit his teeth and show how much he wants this championship. Eubank just a little bit negative.
Well, that punch landed on the back of his leg actually as he was falling. I think he was falling for that.
That was Ben.
Oh, what a shot that
shot
is.
really shaker.
Opened him up with the left hand and then shot the right hand over and it connected. There's the countdown. If he did go down, the count would continue.
Ben's shaking, Reg.
Oh, right to his boots, Jim.
Ben is shaking. The eyes watch, Reg. This will be the finish of the belt.
And it's all over in the 9th round. And would you believe in Ben's corner, they looked as though they were objecting to that for a minute. Why was it stopped? But I think he was right to dive in there. Apart from the eye closing, he was also getting punished at that point, Jim.
Reg, Ben was finished at that point. The only thing that was going to save him was the bell. He wasn't going to save himself. And when the bell is going to ring, it's nothing to do with the referee. When a fighter is out of a fight to stay, he's got to stop the fight. Bad luck for Ben. A few seconds later, the bell would have rung, probably got him recovered again. But that was a tremendous left-hand shot that shook him. Eubank, to me, had become a little bit negative, but he'll probably tell us later that he bided his time and he knew it was coming, but we'll see what he says. But a tremendous finish. Well done, Eubank.
Yeah, I must say, he answered all the questions as far as I was concerned, because I have to say I was terribly confused about Eubank. Seen him quite a few times, never sure whether he was a really good fighter or not. But it looked there, I tell you, he's taken good shots, he's done a bit of acting, but, well, you can always do that. I mean, Ali did, but of course he was exceptional.
Ladies and gentlemen, the WBO champion.
So the formal announcement then.
To the winner, Chris Eubank.
Well, nobody can begrudge Eubank a victory, Reg. He took his best shots. He boxed well, he boxed the way he wanted to box, he controlled the action. A lovely performance from him.
Well, he's crying with joy there, promoter Barry Hearn, and here's Gary Newbon.
Chris, congratulations, that was a brilliant victory. Unexpected by a lot of people, but you said all along you would win. I've never known you lost for words, and I know you're very emotional, but we'd love to know all about that back at home.
He's the hardest punch I've ever seen. He's the hardest punch I've ever come up against in my life. I don't know. I beat him on determination. Karen, I told you I'd do it. Well, I wasn't supposed to do it, but I knew I'd do it. He was good, but yeah, I'd stuck with it, and he hurt me bad, man. But he's good. But I told you my chin is cast iron. I told you they couldn't touch it. If anyone can touch somebody's chin, it's Nigel Benn. Karen, can we get married now? Can we get married?
Listen, this is a new side.
Marry me, Karen.
You want to get married now?
Yeah, I want to get married.
Well, you're in all sorts of emotions. Can I just say this? You are crying now. Now, all we've seen is an arrogant Chris Eubank. This is an emotional Chris Eubank.
He extended me like I've never known one could be extended. He's definitely, the man is just an animal. I mean, his strength is, no, he's not an animal. He come over to me, he shake hands and that. He's an unbelievable puncher. And I said I wouldn't embrace him or anything, but you see, he's won my respect, you see, because he hurt me up the guts. He opened my tongue's open. My tongue's open, he hurt me with shots I never knew existed.
But you keep saying that, but the thing about this fight is you have hit him with so many shots that have had him rocking.
Listen, this man ain't chinny. This man can't be chinny. I hit him with everything, man. Karen, I done it. Dad, I love you, Dad, I done it. I done it.
Well,
come on.
It's an amazing performance, and it's surprised a lot of people.
I need to go to the hospital.
Yes. Well,
thank you.
You can see the end of it, actually. Listen, I'm sure you'd love to see the end of it. Chris?
Yeah?
Talk to us about it.
My corner, Ronnie Davis kept on telling me the 1-2, the left, the straight left and right hand. The right hand over the top, with the straight right hand, and I just kept on trying. He said I was going to lose it, so I could nick it, but I was going to lose it. But this man is a phenomenal puncher. Don't give up, Nigel. He said he's going to quit.
But Chris, Michael Nunn was watching at ringside. Now, looking at if you're going to go forward, you're going to have to start keeping your guard up.
Sometimes my guard being down helps. I don't know. I'm in too much pain to talk, really.
What pain?
I'm in too much pain to talk. Excruciating this.
Okay, thank you very much indeed. The new WBO middleweight champion of the world. Sounds good, doesn't it?
Dad, I've done it. Peter Eubank, I've done it. He said I couldn't do it. I've done it, man. Keep tight.
Ben. Stuart! I've got Ben.
I'm sorry.
Nigel.
He was addressing the audience there, Nigel Benn, actually. And we couldn't catch that with all the bedlam that was going on. As you can see, the ring looks like the London Underground in a rush hour. It always does. They do their best, the security boys, to keep them out, but there are always people who shouldn't be in there. Now I wonder what the Boxing Board of Control are thinking now. They're not club members yet of the WBO.
Well, Nigel, your dreams have gone out the window there.
No, my dreams haven't gone out the window. It's just that I thought Chris Eubank is tougher than what I expected. He caught me in about the 4th round. In my eye, I couldn't see a thing. But not taking nothing away from Eubank. What a tremendous fighter he is. He deserves it, man. He deserves it. Well, you know, I don't know. Now I go home, sit down, decide what I'm doing. But I don't know no more. Honestly, I don't know. The man beat me good, fair and square.
Did you underestimate him?
No, I didn't. I overestimated him, and it turned out that this guy was tough.
Gave him too much respect.
You know, and he caught me with some shots. But you know, good luck to him. You know, all I can say really, you know, I do detest Chris Eubank, you know, more than anybody else. But you know, I can't knock him for the way he worked. And now I go home, see my daughter. I'm just in Barbados. And
Nigel, I know it's very disappointing, but just talk about the fight for a moment. I mean, there were times when you were in a bit of trouble.
Oh,
a lot of trouble.
What do you mean about a little bit of trouble?
A lot of trouble.
Yeah, of course I was, and that's why I got stopped. You know, I was in a lot of trouble, but you know, that's what you go through. This is the second defeat that I've had, and I don't know no more.
What you said at the press conference beforehand that you're going to hang up your gloves if you lose. Is that going to be the case? You said you were going to.
I want to, but my manager don't want me to.
Well, Gary, let me answer that. Let me answer that quickly. First of all, Nigel Benn employs me. He fought tonight, but he fought the wrong kind of fight. His disillusion, his problem really is, he just...
Last 5 seconds.
He grossly overestimated Chris, but Chris Eubank won. Tomorrow morning we'll sit back and we'll talk about it. I think Nigel will be back. There's a lot of fire in the oven yet.
Okay.
I'd just like to say...
Just saying that, Rose, we're running out of time. Thank you.
Well, if you want proof that boxing is the toughest game of all, I think we've seen it here at the NEC tonight. What a fight. And let's hope that Nigel Benn does indeed get back into the ring once again. I think we could all stand for Ben Eubank too.